My name is Alissa Brown, and I am a veterinarian at Rancho Santa Margarita Animal Care Center. Definitely. And I would say goal setting is going to be part of your path for the rest of your career and life. I mean, goals help you stay on track and achieve your ultimate idea or dream. And whether it's getting to veterinary school and the goals that it takes to get to school versus goals every day at work, whether it's, understanding certain mechanisms of diseases at work each day, or trying to communicate to people in a better way. There's always a goal to achieve, and sometimes it takes longer than others to achieve certain goals, but I think setting goals is something you should always do, whether it's at school or at work or in your everyday life. My interest, like so many people and veterinarians in our field, came from my experience as a young girl, and my grandparents had a dog named Golda who I fell in love with, and she was really what triggered my desire to do something with animals, which as I got older became an idea to do veterinary medicine. And I think in our profession, that's how a lot of people feel, like it was ingrained in them when they were young and had a desire to do it for a long time, and that's my experience too. So I remember, of course, as a kid and as a high schooler, I always thought, how great it would be to become a veterinarian. And then in college, the classes that are required to do veterinary medicine are all science, they're all chemistry, they're hard. And that terrified me. I was never strong in science or math, which are like a lot of people in veterinary medicine. And there was a point where I was thinking, I don't know if this is going to be possible for me to do. And it was spring break my freshman year of college, like after my freshman year. And it dawned on me, this is what I've always wanted to do, and if I don't try, it's certainly not going to happen. So I might as well go for it, set the goals, and do as best I can, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, at least I tried. And that's when I ended up switching majors and going forward with pre-veterinary medicine. So yeah, I guess that ties into the other question too. I entered college with a declared major because the school I went to required to declare your major. Yeah, and I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I went in as a nutrition major because I had cold feet. I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to pass the classes that I'm going to need to take to do veterinary medicine. So I entered as a nutrition major. I did nutrition classes for a year, and I was good at it. It came, pretty naturally, but it wasn't what I loved. I wasn't like excited to be a dietitian or a nutritionist. And that's when spring break came along, and it just, we were talking about what we were hoping to do with our lives, and it was like, gee, I'm stuck in this major, and it's not what I'm passionate about. Yeah. And so I just decided right then and there, I'm going to take the steps necessary to change my major, do animal science, enroll in, those classes I was terrified of. And those classes were hard. I got tutors for every science class. I lived in office hours with my chemistry teachers, and I think, a C- was one of my grades in my chemistry class, and that got me through. So my trajectory definitely changed in college for the good. So I am proud to say that I'm a general practitioner in veterinary medicine, which just means you do a little bit of everything every day. And I'm particularly involved with small animals, so companion animals, dogs, cats, the occasional rabbit or hamster, I tend to refer birds. Yes, steer clear of the birds. But yeah, it's just general practice, and that is great for me because it allows a balance in your life, which I think is important. You're not living at work 24/7, and you get to do surgery, and you get to do internal medicine, and you get to do wellness and prevention. And you know, I thought about doing a specialty, like getting boarded in surgery or oncology, the study of cancer, but that really narrows your focus, and that means that that's all you're going to do. And for me, I wanted a little bit wider, experience, which I'm really grateful that's what I chose. So I did my undergraduate degree at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. It was a Bachelor's of Science in Animal Science. And then I did fortunately get into vet school following college. I did do a 5-year college career, but that's because I studied abroad and got to do a lot of hands-on, they were called enterprises at Cal Poly, where you got to do hands-on work with large animals, and I spent the summer delivering calves, you know, baby cows, and I spent the summer at a bull test where you auction bulls and doctor big bulls, and totally out of my element. I mean, I grew up here and, you know, was never a farm girl or anything like that, but I found that the wider experience you have, the more competitive you are as a veterinary applicant. So that's something I would recommend trying to get involved with, is as many extracurricular So I don't think so. I mean, as far as selling myself short, sometimes, you know, I would question, you know, is this really something I'm cut out for? Is this career with all of its challenges, you know, the dealing with dying and death every day, you know, the emotions people have with their animals when they're sick, and I mean, that is a toll that kind of you have to balance in your life, but I don't think it comes down to selling myself short. I think, if anything, it makes us stronger and versatile. And I don't know if that answers your question, but okay. Honestly, and this might be boring, but I love dogs, and I have always loved dogs, and I would have to say I would be like a golden retriever. In fact, Miss Sahan will appreciate this, but I fell in love with her dog Maddie when we were growing up as kids, and she was a golden retriever, and there's just something about them that I love. And of course, now you know I have Stormy over there, but it's a dog's life. I mean, they have it pretty good.